Hi, so my name's Andy. I'm one of the practitioners with the Student Wellbeing and Safeguarding team. And so this is part one of two videos on the drop-in anchor technique. Part one aims to take you through some quick exercises to demonstrate that the struggle we have with difficult thoughts and emotions is sometimes the problem. I'd recommend that you watch both videos the first time so you have an understanding of why this technique is a little different. And I've separated this first part out as an introduction. So that means you can use part two, which is the technique itself, to watch and use as many times as you'd like. So the dropping anchor technique is a simple yet powerful tool for contact in the present moment. The aim of it is to help people become fully present and engage in what they are doing. So we gain control over their actions and focus attention on what's important in the here and now. It's a good first skill for anyone who is interested in wanting to get better at unhooking from difficult thoughts and feelings. It's important, though, before we start, to recognize that people quite often want to get rid or avoid difficult thoughts and feelings. That is totally natural. And actually, our brains are wired to not want to do things that set off our fight or flight response. So, for example, if a lion's chasing you, you are going to want to run away because that works. And that happens with other things as well, obviously, in our life. So, however, when we keep doing that, it can make us feel very stuck as it doesn't work as well longer term. So the aim of this technique is to do something a little bit different. So we will start with explaining why it's not about distracting, pushing away, or controlling difficult thoughts and feelings. So to do this, I just need you to grab a book or a piece of paper for this next bit. So imagine that out there in front of you is everything that really matters to you. Deep in your heart, everything that makes your life meaningful or used to in the past. All the people, places, and activities you love. But that's not all. Also over there are all the problems and challenges you need to deal with in your life today, such as financial issues, your course, and other responsibilities. And also over there are all the tasks you need to do on a regular basis to make your life work. So things like shopping, cooking, cleaning, study, and so on. So let's get that book or piece of paper. And I want you to see that that represents is all those difficult thoughts, feelings, emotions, and memories that you'd like to get rid of. So that book, that piece of paper, that represents all those thoughts and things that are difficult to deal with. Now, holding it tightly at the edges, I want you to push it away as far as possible. That's it. So this is what our society tells us to do. Get those thoughts and feelings away from you. People might tell you to do this, right? But hey, it looks like we aren't really trying very hard here. So I just want you to push that book really hard. Push it as hard as you can. Straighten those elbows. Let's get those feelings and thoughts as far away as possible. Now notice three things. First, how tiring is this? We've been going in for less than a minute and already it's tiring. Imagine doing this all day, every day. How much energy would it consume? Second, notice how distracting it is. If the person you care about were right in front of you, how hard would it be to give you them full attention? If your favorite movie was playing on the screen, how much would you miss out on? If there is an important task in front of you, how hard is it to focus on? So with that book or piece of paper still outstretched, your arms and elbows all holding that, pushing it away. Third, notice while all your effort and energy is going into this, how hard is it to take action, to do things that make your life work, such as to cook dinner or to type on your computer. So notice how difficult life is when you're struggling with our thoughts and feelings like this. We're distracted. We're missing out on life. It's hard to focus. We're exhausted. And it's so hard to do the things that make life work. So now I just want you to place that book or piece of paper on your lap. That's it. So now let's see what happens when we drop that struggle with our thoughts and feelings. Big difference. How much less tiring is this? How much energy do we have now? If there was a task to do or problem, how much easier would it be to focus? Now notice these things haven't disappeared. We haven't gotten rid of them. They are still here, but we've got a new way to responding to them. We are handling them differently. They are no longer holding us back or jerking us around in that emotional storm. And if there is something useful we can do with them, we can use them. You see, even really painful thoughts and feelings often have useful information that can help us, even if it's just pointing us towards problems we need to address or things we need to do differently, or simply reminding us to be kinder to ourselves. And if there's nothing useful we can do with them, we just can let them sit there. Another way of looking at this is to imagine you're in a tug of war with some huge, let's say, anxiety monster. You've got one end of the rope and the monster has the other end. And in between you, there's a huge bottomless pit. And you're pulling backward as hard as you can, but the monster keeps on pulling you ever closer to that pit. What's the best thing to do in that situation? You might say, pull harder. Well, that's what comes naturally. But the harder you pull, the monster pulls. You're stuck. What do you need to do? Drop the rope? When you drop the rope, the monster's still there, but now you're no longer tied in that struggle with it. Now you can do something more useful. So another very natural thing to do is to be walking around trying to control how we think and feel. But unfortunately, it doesn't work. It's not that we've got no control at all, but we've got a lot less than we'd like. So I'd like you to just take you through a quick exercise to just check this out for yourself, if that's okay. So just take a moment to remember how you got here today. Done that? Okay. Now delete that memory. Just get rid of it. How'd you do? How about if I say you must not think about what I say, not even for a microsecond? Don't think about ice cream. Don't think about your favorite ice cream flavor. Don't think about how it melts in your mouth on a summer day. How are you doing? Hopefully by now you might be a little open to trying something different, to trying to either avoid or control or distract from difficult thoughts and feelings in those times when things just seem overwhelming. Those times when your head is spinning around and everything's churning up inside. So if you can watch part 2, and I'm going to go through the dropping anchor technique itself. Thanks for listening.